Right now.
Very
Okay,
good.
cool.
We are clapping now.
Cool.
So today we are in the studio, in an art studio, no? Or is it design studio with Milan? And we are talking about your alternative route. When you took, what is the moment in your life that you felt that you took an alternative route and it shaped your life?
It's a
Pretty much.
very
Yeah.
good question. I believe there have been many of them
Yeah.
actually, but the one what comes to the mind the most was that, after primary school you have to actually choose what kind of high school you want to go to, and I have a really lucky choice to go to the high school where our focus was on fashion and textile. And I used to hate primary school because of the not just because of our teachers, how they treat us there as a classmates, but also the way how everything was so focused only on people who have been good at other things, so like remembering stuff.
Yes.
No creations, like focus on whatsoever. Like actually, our primary school have classes uh, on art,
Yeah.
but they have been taught by teachers who teach languages, and I was like, but they have no knowledge on it, no on art whatsoever. And I was like, that's so silly. Like that's like, so you can't take an alternative path whatsoever. So
Okay.
I mean, when I took that alternative path in the high school, I think that's like completely changed my life.
So how old were you then?
I think I was
Yeah.
I was 15 years old that
Yeah.
time, and then I come to this high school, and out of nowhere, like I became into love school and love life in this way, and I could stay at school for like until 9 o'clock in the evening, and then the cleaning people come and like, Milan, you have to go, like it's we have to close now, but it's and out of nowhere, like this alternative roof, and like I become different person in the way that I still I was in this flow when the time just passed, and I was just so much in the moment, and this was the first time when I felt that this is the alternative route what I wanna take. And I think since then, actually, every decision what I make was actually like because of this. And you asked me what was the first, like what was the road when, and I think this was the first spark, which become to be a big fire later on in my heart. And there have been multiple things when I like later on in life I figured out that I believe that like there is one quote which I love, and it's like the creator create creators to create. And it was just like, and it was just like, and I'm one of these creators who I think there should be something to create, and that's just why I love doing what I'm doing.
What you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
But before you tell me what you're doing actually right now, what I wanted to highlight that there was also a narrative from your teachers in the primary school that you mentioned before when we talked before we started the recording, that they would tell you that you will never learn. You can tell me a bit more. I shouldn't tell it. You tell it. Yes. Tell me a bit more, because it feels like it was also, okay, your decision. I'm not going to go, this primary school is terrible, and I'm going to choose a secondary school that actually fits my creative side.
Yeah.
But you also chose to not believe what your teachers told you. So what did they tell you actually in primary?
That's again.
Sorry, not to re-traumatize
thank you so much. I will open my
but still.
As I mentioned before, it's just like in primary school I've been told that I will never be able to speak another language because my focus was so different. Like I just wanted to draw all the time and like recreate things, and then and they focus on like other stuff, and I was just like, yeah, but what have so much other things to focus on? And then if you actually digest these people, majority of them are really unhappy in their life, and I think I look at into them, I was like, I don't want to end up like you. With all the respect, I was just like looking at them and was just like, you are teaching, and I lost respect to them. With all the respect, I have no respect to them. And I think maybe that's like my rebellious side of it. It was just like, you are telling me that this is wrong, but I was just like, but look at you. Like I was just like, and I was just like, I don't want to take this road what you are giving me. So I was I was like so convinced in that young age that I wanna take a road less traveled.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
it didn't fail you.
it
Actually,
yeah.
it turned into a success in that sense.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
this way, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Because now you speak other languages and you're doing
Indeed.
or you're creating.
Exactly, yeah, and then I'm living fulfilling life. That's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
and then the creation is something the most
Yeah.
meaningful for me. Yeah.
So that was the first step, and then you continued taking the alternative route until now, and probably until you die, as I can see. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So what did you learn whenever you took this alternative route? What was that was challenging, but also what was the surprising bit? That's no.
Well, so I learned many things, right? It's just like, so as a fashion designer,
Yeah.
you learn, or like, I went to also so many classes where you have to learn very technical, hardcore tailoring stuff. And in these classes, I learned that a lot of guys they love to play with cars because it's very technical. But for me, like my brain works that like I love closing because like you have 2D patterns, and in my brain, if I close my eyes, I can see how from this 2D can create a 3D. And it can come to me so naturally, like out of nowhere. I do understand how 3D things can be like totally like dissolved into 2D and then picked together. It's just something how my brain works. And so I learned that this is such a like interesting way how like I think I recognize myself in I find myself in this way thing.
Yeah.
And I learned that I would like I would regret of not taking this path. Like I know that, and I talk with people who never took this path, and they regret it. Even when they are 80, they are like, oh, I wish I could do this, and I'm like, I don't want to be like that. I want to be a person who did take this path.
Yeah.
And in the end of the day, I can always be like, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Let's do whatever other job like provides. But I wanna make something which makes sense to me, and this is what does make sense. And I can like see results that it's not just making sense to me, but also to the rest of our team, to my co-founders, and then stakeholders and all these people who I work with and our interns. They just come here to work with us, and then because that I think it inspires others also in some way. Yeah.
But that's the whole point, isn't it? Is that once we find our own alternative way, other people show up and they are inspired by us. So we do it for ourselves, but we also do it for others in that sense.
Yeah.
We have to,
That's the thing.
And then once you have a kid, I have a kid, so for me it's like, yeah, that she's my primary kind of audience.
Primary audience, yeah, I love it.
Primary audience.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I go like, okay, if she sees me, I can take the alternative. I give her hope. Yes, you can do as well.
Yeah.
You do you, ultimately. There is no wrong or right in the sense on which route. It's mostly that there is such a big wave of doing one way. 1 + 1 = 2, this way,
Yeah.
This way of educating, this kind of jobs from 9 to 5, from, you tick all this, you get the house with the thing, the car, you get 2 kids, whatever is like the standard. But there are so many ways to live. And actually, when you talk to people, I realize pretty much everyone is doing their own thing, Maybe under the surface on the surface it looks like we are the same, but actually underneath we are all kind of crazy alternative beings. But not everyone realizes that there is capacity.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I want. That's why I wanted to highlight this. That there are always a way. There is always a way, and if you don't have a way, then you create your own way. Yeah.
That's very
No.
Yeah.
Because we might look, but we might go like, no one is doing this.
Yeah.
But you still have to do it. Someone has to do it. You might be the first one.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
And did you find yourself, because I think your business and what you're doing now, of course, some other designers are doing on sustainability and upcycling also. But what you're doing, it is your own way. So tell me how you do it now.
I mean, I stay true to myself. And then I really like what you touch bases on, that, we have to find the alternative way. Because like I believe that a lot of people, we have the inner tiger in us. And then we are just like we every day we decide if we will let it go or not. And then because we learn to hide these in order to be more acceptable to the others. You know, we don't wear colors because it's like more challenging to
Tell me about it.
multiple things to because in some way like, and then there is this inner struggle to be like, but then it's take a lot of inner conversation to figure out what is the answer to it. What was the question again? Just
because right now you're also doing your own way, your alternative way.
Yeah.
You're kind of showing other people there are other ways of using materials, reuse them for all sorts of reasons. I mean, sustainability and all of this is so hot topic, quite literally.
Yeah.
Like at the moment, unfortunately, or fortunately, because it becomes very creative to solve this. How do we solve this creatively? But also like, what the hell did we end up doing this amount of shit we have around?
Yeah.
But you're doing it in a very interesting way with the tents. I never would have thought, not that I'm a creative designer, whatever, in my head, but I thought when I saw your profile, I thought, wow, I would have never put tents with clothes.
Yeah.
But you're doing it for so long. Tell me a little bit about it.
So the reason why we do it as a company is because like we can see that there is also like the possibility to take such a big amount of waste. Because tents have been living on the festival for many years and no one ever thought about that. Like what's gonna like
they would throw it out?
Have been some other companies. It's not like new thing. But what we did, we actually figured out the way how to make it into production. So we find productions who are willing and able to actually upcycle bigger scale things, and then we can actually offer it as a things which can be repeated. So we can actually make business out of that instead of like doing it one by one. So we have productions like in Poland and Czech Republic and in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So these are like production where we actually send these things and then actually make it as the commercial style to that. And I think that's a big difference because then we can show that with the, I would say, clever idea, we can actually take textile waste and repurpose it in something very meaningful. Yeah.
Cool. Wow. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, you would never know. I learned so much.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, it's. I'm learning every day because it's a lot of things to learn.
Yes,
from.
it is.
Yeah.
So, given that it was rewarding, so clearly there is a reward because yes, you do something meaningful and you're true to yourself. So when you take that route that is aligned with you, it's a reward in itself because you are yourself in that sense.
Yeah.
Isn't it? And the challenge is to let that. Tiger, you said, loose?
Yeah. Inner tiger, that's a good,
So when you find that challenging, what do you do when you feel like, okay, I could just blend in now, and not let this loose? How do you still keep true to your tiger, to your inner tiger in that sense?
That's I think I would, I was just so suffering in the primary school when my inner tiger was in the cage.
Yeah.
And I can just see what does it mean when the inner tiger left the cage and then actually show up. Yeah. And I was just like, this is what I want for like me later on for life. And I know that I quote again, but it's just okay. I love another one when they're saying like, every person have two lives, and the second one they figure out that there is a second one when they figure out they have only one, and that's just like in with this knowledge you're like I can pass away any minute. We never know. We all think that we live until 80. That's our that's all we think. That's like we think maybe 90, but but realistically 80.
Yes.
But that's bloody bullocks. It's just like we never know, and it's
we never know.
And then like I would regret so much to not trying this as like having the free tiger out of the cage.
Yeah.
When like because if we actually gonna be honest with ourselves, a lot of our people what we meet, they have the inner tiger caged.
Yeah.
Because they were like, okay, but because I'm not good enough, because I'm not like,
Yeah.
and then, but I have a question. Why not you? You can do the business plan. You can do.
Yeah.
You can make living slightly better, and you
Yeah.
know, like with your ideas, why not just try it? You know,
Just try, yeah.
and you know, like there's always you can always come back to like, okay, I will just do whatever else I can do.
Yeah.
But like if you don't try, that's just like,
Yeah.
but that's not living.
Yeah, well, there is some sort of living, but it's probably more sort of like surviving. Like you're going, like just passing through. Because I think, yeah, truly being alive is to try stuff that is challenging you don't know. You're stepping into unknown.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the point. No matter how many, even if you have people that inspire your head, it's still unknown for you. So you have to go like, shit is going to be painful. I might fail a million times on the way, you know? It's going to be hard.
Preach.
Yes, but yet you have to do it. And maybe it's interesting enough because you experienced how it is to live with your tiger in a cage.
Yeah.
That is what keeps you now constantly letting your tiger out because you know, oh shit, that was hot.
But
That's
exactly,
not
that
good
that's the
for me.
thing. Like you know, in the mornings when I wake up, I just go straight away like out of my bed because I was like, I have so much to do,
Yeah.
and like you know, because I just I can see what is possible, and it was
Yeah.
just like, let's do it. Let's try. Let's think about these things,
Yeah.
and let's make like the world slightly better place.
Slightly. One
maybe a little
garment at a time.
Yeah. Or
One
step by step,
garment
yeah.
at a time. No, slightly.
Slightly. Yeah.
Yes, I love this. So what would you say to someone that it's now facing the crossroads and he goes, okay, I don't know where to go. Should I take A or B? Should I listen to my teacher? Should I listen to my parents? Should I listen to the mainstream media? Should I listen to whatever stories on Instagram are showing the life? What would you give that person advice now? Go, okay, before taking the alternative. Why would they should take the alternative route, in your opinion?
Okay. Yeah.
Tell them now. What would you say to them?
Yeah, I would say to them, you do you, and no one can give you a good advice. You find only answer in yourself. We could give you advices. We could tell you how to
You're
do it.
so
we could,
good at it.
but yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's so good, and like I can see so easily what other person need, but I can't see what I need. You know, but it's just like and because it's like we think that is a good thing for that person, but we don't. It's
We
pure
don't really
assuming.
know. Yes,
So I think like the only advice what I can give is just like you have to figure out yourself, and being 100% true yourself, and then sit down on the bloody couch or whatever, like your bed, and then sit there for 30 minutes, and no description, no phone, no other things, and then just like sit down and think about like, okay, what I wanna do, and why am I thinking about this? Because the thing that you think about doing something else, it's already like implementing that maybe you're not happy with your own stage. So maybe
Yes.
that's like just like take the less traveled path, because I like it's so much fun, and it's so much like rewarding. Like then if you stay in the path that everyone tells you to take it. Because you can always come to the main road, you can see it from miles.
Yeah.
But
It's
like,
always there.
yeah, exactly.
Available.
Yeah, available. There, like you can see the highway. You
Yeah.
know, always you can see the highway. But like these, like small villages, you can take this and get inspired through that.
Yeah.
And then going to the bigger city through these small villages,
Yeah.
it's way more beautiful than just going through highway.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good advice to not give advice in that sense, because it is, what do we know? We can't say to what do we know. You might see it in other people what they should do, but actually, even if we see it, it's up to them. They have to be the one responsible to go like, yes, I'm taking this.
Yeah, exactly. But
Because if it's me, I'm responsible, then I'm taking away the power from you and go like, no, you do you. You do you. I think that's the message. You do you.
yeah, exactly. You do you. It's
And figure it out what you want. But this is a hard question.
It is.
To put like, what do you want? Most people will go like, we know what is expected of us, but what do we really want?
But it's like, you know, you have.
It's a pain in the butt sometimes.
Yeah, it
that
is.
question.
It is. But it's like, you know.
But it's a good sign, probably.
It is. Yeah. Once again, it
Yeah.
is. But you know, when people tells you like you should do this, you should do that, like there is not enough evidence of the people from behind. You know, you don't know their story. You don't know like if you would say that everyone should have a podcast or going to do TED Talk, you know, that's like sign of the success. But you know, what if there are people who are excellent and at being like really crafty? Then if you would be like you need to do TED Talk, there's like that's not the best advice, you know.
Of course.
But for the like, that's why I'm saying like you know you should do you and then figure out if that's for you. As that's the best advice. Yeah.
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 And figure it out.
Exactly.
Because you might take the last one, it might not be you. But if you never take that, you will not realize it's not you either.
Exactly.
Isn't it? So, in that sense, there is no right or wrong answer. Just take it. Kind of like just take that and then see. You know, pay attention.
Yeah, maybe the advice is like take a leap of faith.
Yeah.
There's like, but by you, like your leap of faith.
Yes.
And whatever it doesn't mean, like you know, like someone is excellent hairdresser, come on, do it.
Yeah.
That like, but like I can't give you that advice because you know my background is so different to whoever's background. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That is true.
Yeah.
So, where could people find you for giving them more non-advice, like kind of
More non-advice. So
the best kind of advice, and
Yeah.
see you also in action. But you also have something coming up for people who are in Copenhagen. But generally, where people could find you?
So, my name is Milan Vliček, and I'm co-founder of a brand called Our Shift. And this brand is shifting old fashion into a new one by upcycling and consulting other companies how to take care of the textile waste.
Yeah.
And so you can find me on either LinkedIn or on our website or our Instagram called ourshift.copenhagen. So yeah, and
I'll
I
be
believe
sharing the information anyway in the text.
in the text. It's
In
gonna
the
be
text, you'll have to read, people. You'll have to read.
just a little bit. But
Just a little bit, not
Yeah.
an essay, but still.
and we have some workshops coming up. We have
Yeah.
like multiple events, fashion shows and stuff like that. So
yeah.
so you can find
Yeah.
us there. Yeah.
Yeah, but you, besides that, you're in a location that it takes a while to find you. But once you're in the building,
Once you're in the building, you will
you
always
know
know
it.
where the building is. Yeah. That's why we test if people are worthy.
Yes,
You know,
yeah,
if they
yeah.
come here and they find a place, they're worthy. To,
Yes.
Yeah.
that
Cool.
is true.
Yeah.
It's a good trick. Make it a little bit hard, not too easy, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Milan.
Likewise.
You accepted this with such openness and so straightforward. Exactly my kind of person you are. Like, you really don't know me, and you just said yes. So I am like, yes. Thank you so much.
Likewise.
It's been a pleasure to find out more about your journey, but also being surprised that what was that moment. I expected all sorts of stuff. Again, we think we know, but then we don't know.
Yeah, we assume that we know, but
Yeah.
we don't know. Yeah.
We don't know. So on that beautiful note, even the timer went like done.
Okay.
We are done.
Beautiful clocks.
Yeah, beautiful art piece, and we'll hear more about what's your next level. Maybe you'll come back.
Maybe I come back.
Yeah, I come back to give more non-advice.
Yeah.
I think I should get a podcast on that. Non-advice.
Non-advice,
Anyway, no
yeah.
more ideas in my head. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
I go.